Hey everyone, I'm back with another Diablo 3 Season 23 build guide. I'm very excited that the Wizard has gotten some changes for Season 23. This is the class that I have probably played the most in Diablo 3. I've put hundreds of hours into the Wizard, so I'm really excited to see some of those changes. And I'm thinking, leaning towards playing a Wizard at the start of the season. We'll see how that goes. I've got another few days to decide, but that's what I'm leaning towards. So this build guide is going to be for a Firebird Wizard. Before I get into the build, I kind of wanted to go through what the actual changes were based on the latest patch notes, for this season. So basically, the two-piece set bonus is now going to ignite enemies when you use the Disintegrate ability, causing them to take 7,500% weapon damage per second. And it's got the same effect where it's basically another revive every 60 seconds. The four-piece set, when you cast Disintegrate, it adds combustion stacks that reduce the cooldown of teleport by 1% per stack, which is pretty cool. And that can stack up to 100 times. And you gain 80% damage reduction while you have a combustion stack up. So basically, this is going to give you 80% damage reduction, and it's going to let you cast teleport pretty much constantly while you're playing this. The six-piece set bonus, you gain 4,000% increased damage while Ignite is applied to a target. Hitting an ignited enemy with a non-channeling fire spell deals Ignite damage multiplied by combustion stacks. So this is going to take your two-piece bonus, your 7,500% weapon damage, and multiply it, your 4,000% increased damage while Ignite is applied to a target. So 4,000% increased damage times your combustion stacks, so up to 100, which is really nice. So those are the changes. It's a pretty significant changes. Now you don't have to use like multiple fire spells. It's just going to be way better. So let's get right into the build. You're going to want to use some combination of 6 pieces of the Firebird's set. Don't read into the abilities on this because Maxroll hasn't updated it yet for Season 23. But you're going to want to use 6 pieces of the Firebird set. So right now, in the way that I have it set up, I am using 5 pieces, and I'm using a Ring of Royal Grandeur in my cube to get those 6-piece bonus. And the reason that I'm doing that is because you can then get some really nice bonuses from some of the crafted sets. So you can use 2 pieces of Augilds with your Ring of Royal Grandeur to get the 3-piece set bonus. So you're going to get some damage reduction. You're going to get some increased damage against elites from that. And then you can also use Captain Crimson's, which is really nice, which is going to increase your cooldown reduction. It's going to reduce resource costs, which is actually could be useful in this build because you're going to want to be channeling Disintegrate pretty much constantly. And then you're going to get some damage reduction and increased damage based on your cooldown reduction and resource cost reduction. So the reason that you can do that is because Firebirds has an orb. So if you're going to want to go this route and use all 3 sets, you have to use the orb as one of the 5 pieces of Firebirds that you use. For the other pieces of your set, I'm using Squirt's Necklace because the Wizard is very good at generating shields. So for instance, one of our passives is Galvanizing Ward, which, gives you a nice shield. And if you use Magic Weapon Deflection, that's another shield, which keeps the 100% damage increase on Squirt's Necklace online. For our rings, we're going with the Convention of Elements. It's very good. We're dealing fire damage, so whenever that fire damage ticks around, we're going to have a huge increase. And Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac, we basically want as much cooldown reduction as possible on this build so that we can cast Explosive Blast Chain Reaction as much as we possibly can. And then the last piece of the gear we have is the Death Wish, which is just a 325% increase in our damage while we're channeling Disintegrate, which we're going to be doing quite a bit while we're playing this build. For our cube, we've got Orb of Infinite Depths. This is going to give us a huge damage reduction and damage increase when we have Explosive Blast online, which is why we want cooldown reduction to use Explosive Blast as much as possible. This also is a damage dealer for us, which is really nice. And then we've got Mantle of Channeling. This is a channeling build, and why not have 25% increased damage and 25% reduced damage? So that'll be a really nice bonus. And then finally, the Ring of Royal Grandeur, which I already mentioned. So that's your gear. There's no 4th cube slot in Season 23, which kind of simplifies things back to the way they were, and you don't have to think about that extra slot. For our skills, we're going with Teleport, Safe Passage. This is, we're going to be able to use this pretty much constantly because of the, Firebird's new ability. And then Safe Passage is going to give you another 25% damage reduction after you use it. So if you're using that every 5 seconds, which you might be if you're doing speedruns or some other, not really pushing GR content, or maybe even if you are pushing GR content, you're going to have that 25% damage reduction. Explosive Blast, Chain Reaction, like I said, you're getting bonuses from Orb of Infinite Depths, and it's also going to be one of the abilities that trigger the 6-piece damage bonus for the new Firebird's ability. Mirror Image duplicates. This is a little confusing, but there's a really, really good write-up that I'm going to link in the video description, which is basically from Maxroll. They do a great job. All their content is great, so I really recommend checking them out if you don't already check them out. So basically what mirror images do is they cast some of the spells that you have equipped on your bar, and what they're going to use from our build is they're going to use this Spectral Blade, but they're not going to be able to use Explosive Blast. And basically the Spectral Blade can proc our 6-piece bonus from the Firebird's ability. They last for 7 seconds, and one of the things to keep in mind while you're playing it is they have pretty bad AI. So when you cast them, you're going to want to already be in a fight. Don't cast them and then expect to have them move in the right direction along the map. So yeah, I'm going to link this so you can, read about it a little bit more. I hadn't really used mirror images that much because previous to this, it was kind of useless. But in this build, because it's actually going to be one of our main damage dealers, because it's going to make this 6-piece bonus go off when they attack. So really nice ability. Magic Weapon Deflection, 10% increased damage, and it's going to give us a shield to keep Squirts online, so it's a no-brainer. Spectral Blade, Flame Blades we're pretty much just using so that the mirror images can use it. When you are attacking, you're going to want to using Disintegrate. Now, I have Convergence on here as the rune, but you can also use Chaos Nexus. Intensify is kind of useless because your damage is going to be fire through the Firebirds. If you don't really want to use Entropy because you want that long range blast that you would normally get, so you can hit more enemies. Volatility would be fine. I just have Convergence because I think you can hit more enemies with it that way. So I think Convergence or Chaos Nexus are really the two that you kind of want to choose between. For our passives, we have Audacity. I forgot to go over the legendary gems, but we're going to be using Bane of the Trapped, and you need to be within that radius of enemies to get the bonus from the Bane of the Trapped, and Audacity and the Bane of the Trapped coincide, so why not use both? Evocation for a 20% cooldown reduction. Again, we want as much cooldown reduction as possible to cast as much Explosive Blast as possible. I like Unstable Anomaly because I don't like to die, and why not have 2 death cheats? One from the 2-piece bonus on Firebirds, one from this. Toughness, I think, can be a problem for Wizards, so I think having that extra death cheat can be really valuable. And then Galvanizing Ward, we already went over. It's another shield to keep Squirts online. And just to go back through the legendary gems, because I kind of missed that before, we're going to use Taeguk because we're going to be channeling, and you're going to get a nice armor bonus you're going to deal more damage. And then Bane of the Stricken for specifically killing Rift Guardians. If you are not fighting Rift Guardians or you're killing Rift Guardians very quickly, you can switch to Bane of the Powerful. That's going to be better for that faster type of content. So yeah, really excited to be playing the Wizard again. Looking forward to trying out this Firebirds build. There are a bunch of different ways you can play this, which is really cool. This is just one of them. So I encourage you to, try some different things and see what you like. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please press that like button. Please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.